Hello everybody and welcome to another tips and clips video. I think this is number 3. Sat here next to me Rebecca here. Statice growing away happily here, and you can probably just see in the foreground here this scabious. Wonderful place to be right now, and I think I'm going to pick some of these to take home. But anyway, on the show today I've got a couple of tips and a clip, and I've also got a green tipster on the show. What's a green tipster? It's a guest that I've called the green tipster. So we've got that to come as well, and everything else. Hope you enjoy it. So this is my current bed of lettuce. I think it's either my second or third this year so far, and I had the crates at the start of the year. But it's one question I get asked a lot, is how do you get a lettuce home without it getting limp? And we actually had it on the Pottymouth Garden Club last week. Somebody asked the same question. The simple answer is a bucket of water. So I mean, I pick individual leaves off my plants, and if I took that home it would wilt slightly and it wouldn't be as sort of turgid as it is now. Chuck it in a bucket of water and it'd be wonderful, and all I've got to do when I get home is wash them and salad spin them. And I've brought my spinner down and I'm going to show you how I do that, just for stuff and giggles. But just pick a variety of leaves, and this will actually prolong the life of your lettuce as well, and it will also help to stop pests as well, because you'll end up with clean stems on these lettuce plants and you'll pick forever and ever. You generally get about somewhere around 10 to 12 weeks. So I've got a few leaves in there. We'll go and spin these now and show you how I store them. Now this is just a cheap salad spinner, probably cost us no more than a couple of quid. It sits on a pivot point in there and just spins, and this sits on top and spins the inside of it. Once it's all together it'll spin for ages like that. As I say, it's all cheap. It will have been 2 or 3 quid, and that is all you need. So with your lettuce that you've just picked, just rinse the leaves off, pop them in your spinner, and then spin them. And then take it apart, drain your water off. And all you've got to do now is get a little Tupperware, stack your leaves away in them, close it up, and you're done. Pop that in the fridge. There's some residual water on there, but that will keep the leaves in good condition. So make sure you pop that in the fridge, keep them cooled, and you're done. It doesn't get any simpler than that, and your lettuce will get home in perfect condition. There we go. So now we get to today's green tipster, and this man needs no introduction because he does that for me. Here he is.
Welcome everyone, my name's Tony Smith, yes, and big thank you to Steve, Green Side Up, inviting us on his channel. That's lovely. So we're at my allotment. I'll just spin you around there, and Steve's very kindly asked to do for me to give you like a little tip or a little bit of advice, just a little nugget of a gem that I think kind of works in the garden. And this is my strawberry bed, and in a week or two time I'm going to tackle it. So this is the tip that I'm going to tell you about. There's 2 actually. Now I got this tip from my mum. My mum used to, years and years ago, look after this allotment, and strawberries was a big thing for her at that time. But she always said 2 things. Now I'm going to show you the first one because a lot of people have mentioned this, but the second tip is something that you think, oh, I wouldn't have done that. Now a number of people have told us this one, so this one's not my mum's, but if you just dig down into there, you can see I've got some membrane on, and you know, you kind of put straw on to kind of stop the strawberries, the fruit touching the soil and getting dirty. But you can also put membrane on and cut little holes through, so your strawberries go through the holes. But it keeps the water in, and it stops all the weeds coming through. Now I did this is, as you can see, I'm getting weeds there now because this garden is a little bit, it's a little bit suspect. It's not getting looked after. So eventually the weeds are coming. But what my mum always told me, 3 years is enough for a strawberry plant. After that time, they start losing the kind of fruiting ability and the taste goes a little bit. So after 3 years, you want to think about replacing the strawberries. So that could either be using the suckers, you know, and growing your own from the same plant, or just totally replacing. And that's what my mum's method was. Replace the whole lot. So this whole strawberry bed will be just going into the compost bin, and I'll be bringing in a fresh batch of a new strain of the strawberries. Steve, thank you very much, lad. Look after yourselves. Take good care.
Thanks for that, Tony. Mum's know best, eh? This is my Cracky System. It's new to me this year, and this has been going for about 3 weeks, but look at these basil. But the thing I'm quite amazed by is when I take this lid off, by the way, I also put some parsley in here, and these aren't doing very well at all. One's died over here, and the other one's not really doing anything. But let's have a look at this, the roots. Look at that. I mean, that's 3 weeks. 3 weeks growth, and that's simply stunning, really. And the idea with the Cracky systems is an all-in-one contained system, so all the feed is in the water in there. As the plant drinks the water level goes down, and the roots then become exposed to the air that's left behind, and they then become the air source for the plant, the oxygen source. So it's a brilliant little system. But just look at these. I mean, these are fantastic. It's actually, just noticed it's going to flower here, so I shall pinch that out. And we haven't used any of this yet, so we'll start using this week. But that's a brilliant quick thing. I mean, that's 3 weeks, and the plants were this sort of size when they went in. So very, very pleased with that. I mean, absolutely ginormous plants. Really, really good. We'll have a look at the other one anyway. So this is the next one over, and I was only trying these systems just as a test. And in this one I've got a dwarf French bean, and you can see now we're starting to get some beans develop on there, so that's doing well. But the amazing thing is, this here is a melon plant, and 3 weeks ago when I started this Cracky, this thing was only about this long, and it dried out several times. As far as I was concerned, it was dead, and I thought I'll try it in there and see what happens. Now if I just move all this foliage out of the way, and if I lift this one up, again, look at the tremendous roots on that. It's simply phenomenal. So really likes this Cracky system, and it's something, it's not going to take over my gardening, but it's something I will certainly be using and investigating further in over the years to come. I might end up with a couple of buckets, you know, half a dozen buckets like this. But it's simply, I might even get a melon off this year, although I doubt it. It's getting late now. But you never know with this system. It's so far, it's baffling really, just how well it's doing. But I'm very pleased with how that's doing. So if this is your first time here, Greenside Up is dedicated to helping gardeners of all levels, ability and experience. So if you hit that big red button down there and subscribe, then I can help you too. And it's free of charge as well, which is brilliant. Now, every week I take part in a live show with Tony, and there's 4 of us that take part in this, and we answer people's questions. We talk about the subjects of the day. Like for right now, it's really boiling weather. I suspect this next one we'll be talking about that. And we say there's 4 of us on there. There's Tony, there's JB, the Italian stallion. I mean, he's the eye candy, ladies, you know, he really is. We've got Audrey over in Detroit, and we've got myself, just reminding people that there are ugly people in the world. So every Monday night, and that has been since its inception, weeks and weeks ago now, months ago, has been on Tony's channel. But this week it's moved into a new dedicated channel, and I'll put a link to that in the description. Come along, get yourself a drink before you turn up, and you can sit there and watch us take part, ask a question, and it generally descends into some sort of a chaos, and we end up going down a rabbit hole and talking about things that we didn't start talking about. But it's well worth a watch and coming over, and when you're over there, don't forget to subscribe as well, then you don't miss the next one as well. So good tip for you there. Ever the professional amateur, I got home, realised I hadn't done the closing clip for today's video, but it does mean you can get to see these lovely lilies. But that's it for today. Look after yourselves everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Ta-ra now.